Life circumstances opened my eyes to the things I wouldn't have known at a deeper level if I had everything. It taught me patience, empathy, and kindness. Most times all I see are people with scars and the dexterity to succeed against all odds. I now understand that life is hard and can treat unfairly even the most efficient hard worker. At a point in my life when I was at the surface level, I had a belief, and it was focus, put in some work, you will succeed. This made me see people that are always in need of financial assistance as those that have not gotten themselves together enough to succeed. They are not working hard enough. They like to be dependent. But I learned the hard way after I went through my own traumatic hustle, and yet nothing. For years I had to grind. Then I realized the truth, which is not just hard work. The hard work needs to mix with favor. If this is not the truth, why didn't I succeed? I was good, an efficient, hardworking woman. I give my best. In 2008, my second year in the university, I sold fairly used clothes, shoes, and bags. I carried those goods on my head, moving from one hostel to the other, and as many as I can for a day. The weight was not my problem. What matters most to me is to sell them all. I often scream things for sale as loud as I can, so that my prospective buyers can come out from wherever they are and have a look. I was often going to Aba from Okiwe to get more clothes and shoes for sale. Yes, I know I was in school to study. At the time, it was impossible because I needed to survive as a student, and the people that have to train me comfortably are struggling. The money I realized from my sale was just enough to foot my school bills, so I had no extra savings. To make matter worse, Mom died 2010, a year before my graduation. I knew it would be tougher than it is already. 2011, I was done with school. That was the most confusing time of my life. I had no home, nowhere to go to. My elder sister was still in school, living with someone. My other sister was in Kano with my father, and that was just the last place on my mind. I didn't want to settle there, not because of the political unrest, but because I didn't like the feel. One of my elder sisters introduced me to her girlfriend in Lagos, so I stayed with her family for months. As a hustler, I felt uncomfortable just sitting at home and doing nothing, so I had to go do something. And some ladies introduced me to a marketing job, but I needed downlines, according to them, if I want to grow in that business. So I tried getting people to sign up under me, but they are often discouraged. Their parents, siblings, friends tell them that the job is hard. So I had to focus on growing on my own. But then I realized that the people that can afford the products are those in the big leagues. This made my job a bit more difficult. I gave this marketing job everything, my time, my energy, and money, but it didn't still give me financial freedom. And each time I complained to those that brought me into the business, they always say, try harder. That was not the story they told me when they were trying to bring me into the business. Obviously not. But it's heartbreaking to see my downlines back out. How do I grow standing alone? How? 2013, I ventured into media. Blogging precisely. So many people in Nigeria are yet to figure out what blogging was all about. So for me, it's promising. I gave it my best. Brought interesting features, till nothing. My AdSense was yet to be matured. Later that year, I got a mail from AdSense telling me I violated their policy. So they blocked my AdSense account. I just sat there staring at my computer in shock because I didn't know what I actually did wrong. And this happened when I was a few cents close to my first paycheck threshold. Discouragement at this point, I tell you, is an understatement. I built my site from the scratch. I built it myself. I saw it grow to a level. The little hope of making money taken away. I couldn't run the site anymore because running a site is expensive. 2015, I moved on to jewelry business from Lagos to Benin, and this is one of the most tedious I have ever ventured into. As usual, I wanted to put in the extra effort that others were not, putting. I decided I would take my business to my potential clients. So I shared my contacts. I delivered the orders personally. I went to schools, offices, though I was making sales. But the recession of 2015-2016 made it more stressful than profiting. All people talked about was food, survival, not luxury, not fashion. I had to deal with debtors. Some came up with excuses and never paid after using my product. 2018, I moved to event management. I got the skill needed. I took the step of visiting the whole event center in my neighborhood, asking the facility manager for one thing, and that is recommendation. I showed them what I could do, and from the look on their faces, they were impressed. But I never got a call back, even when I checked back on them. And each time, I feel like crying my heart out. Most times, I feel stuck, like I've not moved from the point I found myself 2008. Like I'm still there. At this point, what else am I supposed to do? So I accepted a job that could barely take care of me. The job was not paying my kids' fees, so they got out of school. And when they were out of school, I knew I had to resign to face the most rewarding, which are my kids. And this was the time the idea of wisdom undiluted for youth came. The perfect idea for me, because it fueled my passion to encourage teenagers and youth, though it started rocky as usual. No money, no support. Listen, there is a reason why I have taken some time to enumerate my life hustle, and that is to officially say this. Those we see struggling, asking for one financial assistance or the other are not lazy people. In fact, most of them don't even like the fact they depend on you. They might be even working physically and mentally harder than people they ask for financial assistance. 2019 was full of disappointments, betrayal, rejection, sacrifice, tears, fears, desperation. At this point, I didn't want to fail again. I believed so much in this project, Wisdom Undiluted for Youth. For me, this is the purpose, my purpose. It is the reason why I am here. What those people that make it do differently. Gymnastics, hard work, good public relation, perseverance. What? What exactly? I did all that and even more. Each time I see people struggling, it opens up my scars. And that is what my past taught me. Being rich and made is not always measured by what we know, effort, or even creativity. Maybe yes, in developed countries, but not exactly in a country like ours, where talent is replaced with mediocrity. Popularity is what matters. A country where what is your name is equivalent to who is your father. A country that sizes your pocket before giving you an opportunity. Now I know better, and I can never judge any man. I know what it means to have nothing. I know what it means to be looked down on. I know what it means to call, test, and not receive feedback. I have seen people give me attitude that shows I am not where I should be. I know what it means to ask for help and not receive. I know what it means to live in a place I wouldn't want to on a normal day. I know what it means not to be materially okay. Because for years I couldn't afford clothes, nice hair, or even buy lotion. In fact, I built spiritual muscle, and that helped me to believe more in my prayers for healing for me and my kids, because it is the only option for us since paying doctors was ruled out. Thankfully, it is truly the best option with faith. Now, this is not to say you shouldn't go to the doctors if you have what it takes, but God actually takes care of those that can't take care of themselves. Most times I feel so compelled to celebrate my kids also on their special days. Right now I know what it means to have nothing to throw the simplest party if they get them toys. I know what it means to want to start a project or push a business idea and not receive help. I know what it means to have places to go but no money to make the move. I know how it feels when the rich do little favor and feel you don't deserve it. I know how it feels when friends turn their backs on you. I know how it feels to want to eat A but can only afford B. Funny, isn't it? I know how it feels to have your kids out of school. I know how it feels to see people that once supported you grow tired and start fading away consciously. I hate poverty. The poor you will always have with you. No one deserves it. Lack is painful. I can never ever justify crime, but people are in the rat chase for money, anyhow, any means, because it is what gives them the comfort of living at least comfortably in a society like ours. It's the only way to be respected in a society where the bag is all that matters, not how you secure the bag. No one cares how wonderful you are personally. No one cares about your wonderful virtues if you can't pay your bills. Today, you can't even organize a team to push an idea if you have nothing. Obviously, in a country where everyone is hungry, no one is loyal if nothing is coming out from you. So most people can't endure or wait for their time because lack is painful. Lack is painful majorly for these two reasons. First, you can't afford what you need. Secondly, the society will mess you up. Some rich folks gives you a ride and call you fortunate because to them you can't afford it. Some fortunate ones disappoint you, betray you, step on your toes, and they don't even apologize because to them you don't deserve an apology. If you're very effective and efficient with the mundane job they offer you, they stop seeing you as someone that should grow, but someone that is good enough to keep running that errand or stay on that job. These and many more have driven many to the point of I'd rather die rich than live long here trying. Always remember, most of the people hustling and asking for support have tried all they could. They are full of questions. They are desperate and at extreme, almost giving up their dreams. Those in need most times might look physically good but mentally drained. This is the reason people commit suicide, and with our mouth open, we try to figure out why. Because they were looking good the last time we saw them. How do we come in? If you are better than someone you see struggling, sometimes all we need is just to ask this simple question: what do you need to succeed, and how do I come in? And you will be amazed that the things that they need is right within your reach. Collectively, we must all show off selfishness and start living for one another the best way we can. Collectively, we can fight poverty and lift many families. Only we become more bent on empowering people to succeed more than giving them a daily meal to get by when we have all it takes in the world to liberate them fully. Why should we enjoy giving the first a cup of water to keep coming for more when we can actually pour whole? If only we seek out vibrant people to make every day. The problem is not that we don't have or know people with great ideas. On a daily basis, we see people struggling and desperate. But the problem is that we are too engrossed with self. Another problem is fear of the unknown. After all the effort, will they succeed? Will they appreciate my effort? Maybe they will become proud and no longer need me. If I dare to help them, I give them what they need to succeed, they might become better than me. So jealousy and greed puts them on hold. Jealousy and greed. They might just turn out my biggest enemy tomorrow if I dare to help them. So then, most just try as much as possible to behave like they are ignorant of the pain and struggles of friends and family they should empower. I have never seen one person, no matter how great, renowned, proficient, powerful, that has lived forever here. Neither have I seen anyone die and still control their wealth from the grave. How did we get here? How did we get to this point of selfishness, disconnection? I've experienced lack, and my choice today is to see that I try as much as humanly possible to help those around me have a better life, even without them asking for my help. That is what we all should be doing. Living in lack is hell on earth. Ubuntu. Ubuntu. A word that captures Mandela's greatest gift, his recognition that we are all bound together in ways that are invisible to the eye, that there is a oneness to humanity, that we have achieved ourselves by sharing ourselves with others and caring for those around us. He not only embodied Ubuntu, but he also taught millions to find that truth within themselves together.